Hey guys, it's AdorableDaniella, and Dark Souls 3 is amazing. I am absolutely loving this game, and I really doubt anyone is still on the fence. But if you are, you should buy it. Anyways, this particular video is going to be all about the co-op aspects of the game, and also just talking about all the improvements that I feel it has. I'm one of those people who felt that Dark Souls 2 did not have the greatest boss design in terms of environments, variation, pretty much everything. With the exception of Dark Souls 2's DLC, whose bosses were all fantastic, I just didn't feel like it was that good. Some of the bosses were kind of cheap, I guess would be the word, and they were like a mob type, so very artificial in terms of their difficulty. You got more overwhelmed than you missed your dodge or something like that. But I'm happy to report that in Dark Souls 3, that is totally outdated. The way that everything is now, I would probably describe with the word majestic. The arenas themselves are beautiful, and the boss designs are gorgeous. There are beasts, humanoids, which remind me of a standout from Dark Souls 2, the Mirror Knight. And I actually really liked that boss because it also had sort of like a PvP experience sort of wrapped into it. But yeah, they're majestic. They are, in my opinion, best boss design of any Soulsborne game, and I really loved Bloodborne, so that's saying a lot. Also, the variation in terms of the weapons that you have now is really wonderful. Many people have written it off as simply a gimmick, the new weapon arts. But I actually feel like they add a lot to it. And they remind me of Bloodborne, the transforming weapons. So that's definitely a plus. I have been trying all sorts of different weapons in all aspects of the game. The player versus environment, player versus player, it's all just really excellent, and I'm overwhelmed by the game. I don't know if it's still the hype talking or what it is. It's just a really good game, I think. I have not had as much fun in PvP in any game that I can think of, or in the co-op versus these amazing bosses. Each weapon is really unique. Some of them have some really unique movesets that are very different, and again, remind me of Bloodborne. One of them in particular is the Farron Greatsword, which on one of my builds I actually was Dex and went through the entire game with it, and you wouldn't think that a Greatsword would be a Dex build's go-to weapon, but it was. And it's because it has those hard-hitting greatsword attacks. But it also has this like slide dash kind of effect and some somersaults, and it's just very cool. And it all reminds you of Knight Artorias. And you feel just like an Abyss Watcher. And you can get all of the gear for the Abyss Watcher, and that's just such an amazing aspect and element to this game. All the variation in the armors and in the weapons. Bloodborne was totally missing all of that, and so it's great that they brought it back. And I don't actually think that this says that the game is easier. I think it's just that I probably got better at Souls games. But in Dark Souls 3, besides Bloodborne, it's the only game, any Soulsborne games that I've gone through without a shield. One of my builds was a Paladin Knight, using miracles and some hexes. And I didn't even use shields for that, just great swords and swords throughout the entire game. My other, one of my other builds was a mercenary dex build. And I used the twin swords that you are a starting weapon. And I occasionally dabble with some other weapons, but mostly use that. No shields, and went through the game. However, the one thing, the caveat to the idea that I've just gotten better is this is the first Souls game, or Soulsborne game, where I actually had to co-op for some of the bosses. And after co-oping them, I feel like I have a better handle of them and could probably beat them solo now, but I'll have to find out on my next playthrough. I have just been so overwhelmed. I'm loving everything about it. I feel like all the bosses are really balanced, really fair. And you just kind of have to learn all the movesets. You just kind of have to learn them. I'll probably do some videos on some of the boss fights. I will definitely do weapon reviews, as I said. I'm absolutely adoring all the new weapons. And I am still planning on doing a walkthrough through the entire game. But other than that, like I said, I am super overwhelmed. Not really sure what to do videos on. And it seems like other YouTubers, it's the same thing. They're absolutely overwhelmed by Dark Souls 3 and don't know what to do videos on. So please let me know. What do you want me to do videos on? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you liked the video. I hope you liked the footage. If you didn't like it, that's fine. You can just thumbs down. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. For more Dark Souls and other gaming content, you have a wonderful rest of your day. Alright. Bye-bye.
Dear brother, I'm on my way. My brother, unyielding sword of Lothric's prince. Rise if you would, for that is our curse.
Hello.